The complete guide to performing the Tomb Easter egg solo with no Gobblegums. This is definitely a challenging Easter egg, but I'll be with you the whole time, walking you through every single step with run-saving strategies and considerations. Let's get started. The loadout that I am electing to use is an XM4, making sure to have the suppressor, CHF barrel, and extended mag 3 equipped. I'm confident this run can be similarly completed with most ARs, most LMGs, and also the ASG shotgun with Dragon's Breath rounds. Just make sure you use a moderate rate of fire bullet weapon, as the boss fight demands one. There are a number of perk augments that will be particularly useful here. Tribologist for keeping distance, Probiotic for increased durability, Quick Swap for weapon swapping, and Extra Charge for survivability. I will not be using any Gobblegums in this run, but if you wanted to use some, Perkaholic and Hidden Power can help get you started, while Shields Up, Free Fire, and Idle Eyes can keep you going. On to the run. At the start of the game, go and collect the PhD Flopper Loose Change, then we are going to super optimize our farming by staying here for the first 7 rounds of the game. That's right, just get your points now, prep for all the doors because we are effectively locked out of Easter egg progression until round 8. You may have to buy ammo a couple of times, but since it's not packed, it'll be cheap. As the round flips to 8, go ahead and buy blue armor off the wall. At the start of round 8, a shock mimic will spawn ahead of the horde. Eliminate it, then pick up the monocle it drops. This is the first part of 3 for the ice staff. Now you can go buy doors. Buy the first into the catacombs, claiming the Deadshot Daiquiri loose change. Continue on to buy into the ossuary and claim the Speed Cola loose change. This is a decent sized room, so you can cull the horde here down to the last few for management. Buy the last door into the temple and place the amulet at the broken crystal to open the doorway to nowhere. Once it completes, take the teleport. This will grant you access to Pack-a-Punch. Once inside, look up and shoot any rock that appears to be glowing slightly. This will get it and 4 others spinning around the Dark Aether Nexus. Go claim Juggernog, then look up into the sky and try to spot out all 5 rocks spinning around. There will be 4 pretty big rocks spinning fast and 1 smaller rock going slowly. Make sure you have all 5 in your sights. Starting with the small rock, shoot it, freezing it in place. Do this with the other 4 rocks, and if you're fast enough, a Cryo Freeze mod and a raw Aetherium crystal will spawn in the center. If you're in a multiplayer lobby, there will be 1 Cryo Freeze for each player, but only the single crystal. If you fail to shoot the rocks fast enough, they'll all just start spinning again, giving you unlimited tries. The first Easter egg step is acquiring the Ice Staff. You could pop a Wonder Bar or roll for the staff, but I'm going to show you the honestly pretty easy process to assemble one for free. There are 3 Ice Staff parts, one of them being the monocle we collected earlier. For the second Ice Staff piece, make your way back to the catacombs. Notice the purple crystals hanging above. These are free traps that you can shoot to drop Aether Fire down on enemies. In each of the 5 cave sections, there will be a crystal. Shooting it will activate it, then cause a new one to spawn. These respawn following a consistent cycle, so the first location may be different at the start of each game, but respawns will move in a predictable order. Repeatedly break the Catacombs crystal until you get to this one. This will be the last crystal you have to break. After a minute or so, the crystal will respawn here in the room with the crafting bench, illuminating the Orion Constellation. On the wall are symbols indicating Roman numerals. Shoot the Roman numerals in order from 1 to 10. Missed shooting doesn't lead to anything serious, just a short delay before continuing. Once all have been selected, your screen will flash white and you'll enter a 5-phase challenge. A purple orb will move around the catacombs, releasing enemies for you to slay. Play away from the spawn points to influence the enemies into tight choke points where they'll have to move single file. These enemies will get progressively more dangerous. After 3 phases, a max armor will spawn, and after all 5, a max ammo will drop alongside the staff headpiece. It's possible your round flipped to 9 during that. If not, go ahead and do it now. Here on round 9, we're going to farm up and make our way to the final ice staff piece on the other side of the caves. After farming, buy the door from the temple to the shrine, claim the stamina up loose change, then buy the door after to the tombs. If you have to flip to 10, that's fine, whatever gets you the points. This here is the last crystal location we need to shoot, so pop it and wait around for the respawn. When it comes back, the bull on the wall will have the same constellation numbers showing, this time 1 through 8. Shoot them in order and you'll enter another 5-phase challenge. Again, just play away from the spawns to keep everything pointed in front of you. Free max armor after 3, and after 5, a max ammo and the staff piece. You can claim the Death Perception Loose Change on your way out, then farm enough for Stamina Up and buy it. Take the yellow portal to the Dark Aether Nexus and interact with the ruins at the center to place and start assembly of the Ice Staff. This will be a defense segment against a never-ending horde. This step is not time-based, it is kill-based. More specifically, kills on the zombies targeting the staff. Use your decoys, Aether Shrouds, and whatever you can to deal with the horde. On completion, the zombies will wipe, and the Ice Staff will be available to claim. This is a difficult segment, and if you fail it, just flip the round to unlock the build process again. Now here's something you probably should have done first, something that I forgot about in this run. On either side of the green door is a waterfall. Using either a cryo-freeze weapon or the Ice Staff, shoot the waterfall, freezing it. After both are frozen, an Aether Tool will spawn at this platform, upgrading your primary. Definitely do this before building the Ice Staff. The Aether Tool will be blue for rounds 1 through 10, purple for rounds 11 through 20, and legendary gold for rounds 21 and up. This is why we make sure to flip onto 11 before freezing the waterfalls. Now that we have the Ice Staff, we are going to work immediately to upgrade it into Yule's Arrow. Step 1 of 3 is freezing the flames. Remember the Aether Crystals we rotated earlier? There are 5 spread across the underground section of the map. We need to freeze 3 of them with the Ice Staff in under 10 seconds. If successful, Archibald will say this line.
Extinguish the flames, froze the crystals.
If unsuccessful, you'll have to smash some of the frozen crystals to expose new ones and try again. If you don't have 3 crystals close enough together, smashing a crystal will cycle it amongst the other spawns in that section of the map. Step 2 is reopening the closed portal. At the Dark Aether Nexus, there will now be 3 rocks floating above that have purple symbols exposed on their undersides. These can be pretty tough to spot, but when you do, shoot them with the Ice Staff, lowering the rock closer into view. Get a good look at the symbol, as we'll need to match them up with a door later on. This is the naming scheme I use for the symbols. If you want to use your own, feel free to do so. Foot, N dot, Omega, Sentinel Artifact, O, Triangle, Line, Hourglass. In my run, I found Sentinel Artifact, Line, and N dot. Look around at the 4 colored portals and note that one is now closed. You'll have to exit from a different portal, then find the closed portal in the overworld. Once again, match up the symbols with what you found, in my case, Sentinel Artifact, Line, and N dot, then the portal will rebuild. Note that the portal will rebuild no matter which 3 symbols you selected. Teleport through. If when you teleport you land on the rock in the air, you selected the correct 3 symbols. If you missed the rock, you chose the wrong set of 3 symbols, and you'll have to flip the round to perform the step again. Step 3 for the Ice Staff upgrade is the Orb Soul Box. Once you've landed on the rock, interact with the orb to get it moving. Drop down and follow the orb with your bullet weapon. It's simply stronger than the Ice Staff at this point. Slay the horde as they spawn while staying in close proximity with the orb. Follow it around, fending off normal, armored, and elite zombies. You don't have to kill the elites, instead prioritize the little ones to continue feeding the orb's souls. It will walk you all around the Nexus, eventually making its way to where you first built the Ice Staff. Upon entry, your screen will flash white, and you'll be able to interact with the orb while our staff is out to upgrade it to Yule's Arrow. With the Ice Staff completely done, we are now onto the last official Easter egg step. At the center of the Nexus are 4 statues, each of a different special enemy. The first is the Vermin with a blue crystal inside. Use the alternate fire to swap to the staff's new revive ability, then shoot the crystal, breaking it. A fire will light, interact to extinguish it. Now in the overworld, that corresponding statue will be available for a challenge. Since this was a blue crystal, take the blue portal out to the dig site and interact with the pedestal to begin. For the Vermin challenge, the target is simply to slay out. The Yule's Arrow charge shot in the middle of the pit is the simplest way to go about it. After about a minute, your screen will flash white. This next part you can do immediately, or wait for things to calm down. Grab the amulet from the pedestal and start running. You need to bring the amulet back to the original statue in the Aether Nexus. Whenever you grab an amulet, the local portal will close temporarily, meaning we can't take blue portal back out. Taking damage while holding the amulet will drain its energy. Whether you either fail the challenge or the amulet loses all of its energy, you will have to flip the round to try again. Run over to green to teleport to the Nexus, depositing the amulet at the statue. This will wipe the zombies and link the column up to the rock in the sky. Statue 2 is Yellow Parasite. shoot with the revive, and claim the flame. This next challenge is probably the hardest of the 4, so I took a couple of rounds to farm up, double packing my weapon and buying speed cola. Head over to Shrine and interact with the statue to start. For this challenge, you will have to slay parasites, with some of them dropping energy orbs, kind of like back on Terminus. Bring the orb back to the statue to deposit it. You will have to deposit 10 orbs in total. I was interacting with the statue to place the orbs, but I don't think you actually need to. Everything just might be proximity based. Whenever an orb is on the ground, prioritize it above all else. I believe there may be a limit as to how many orbs can be on the ground at one time. For reference, this is the only challenge I have ever failed on any of my attempts, and it's solely due to running out of time. On your 10th deposit, the challenge is done. Claim the energy, then run it to the closest available portal, this one being red. Go to the center and deposit it at the statue, completing Sacrifice 2. Statue 3 is green Doppelghast. Shoot with the revive and claim the flame. At this point, I had over 5,000 salvage, so I found an arsenal, swapped my ammo mod to Napalm Burst, and maxed out my weapon rarity. Thin down your round to make things manageable, then I took the time to claim Deadshot before the challenge. Deadshot won't impact this challenge at all, I just happened to be in the area. Interact with the statue to start yet another Yule's Arrow spam session. This is just as brain off as the Vermin statue. At the end, wait a second this time before grabbing the amulet to make sure you don't get hit by an exploding Doppelghast. Red portal is right there, take it to the Nexus to drop it off. Statue 4 is red Amalgam. This statue is down at quick revive and is also pretty easy as long as your bullet weapon is upgraded. After interacting, prep the Yule's Arrow. Follow the energy strand that comes out and drop it down on the Amalgam as it spawns. This should absolutely rip. If the Amalgam ever goes immune, you need to swap and target the enemy it's draining from. Again, with my setup, this should be pretty painless. You're going to have to run the amulet kinda far on this one, so make sure you're in a good state. Bring it either to the yellow or green portal, placing it down once in the Nexus. This will force end your round and prevent spawning for a while. Over beyond Jug will be a ray striking some symbols. Interact with the pedestal that just came up to reveal the boss fight. At this point, you have no more Easter egg steps to complete, just the boss fight. However, it is my own experience and the experience of others that this boss fight is brutal. So we're going to spend some time absolutely maxing out our kit to be as strong as possible. Exit the Dark Aether and make your way down to Deep Excavation. This is the simplest place to farm. Simply use the Yule's Arrow charge shot and mindlessly fire at the ground. Once you have 10,000 points, you can upgrade to Tier 3 armor, then once you have 30,000 points, you can triple pack your weapon. I went to the Nexus to search for Pack-a-Punch. While you are here, we need to find and break 2 boxes. One is under a tree to the left of the green door. Break it and claim the head inside. The other is across from Juggernog. Once you have both heads, feel free to leave the Nexus through the blue portal to get back to the dig site. Triple pack your weapon, then buy PhD Flopper for the Tribologist sliding. Interact with the 2 headless statues at the dig site to attach their heads. Make sure you have full armor, then interact with one to start a blood sacrifice. When I first recorded this footage, there was a glitch permitting killstreak usage immediately upon starting the sacrifice. This has since been patched. The statue at PhD will spawn 3 mimics for every player in the sacrifice. Insta-kill is a great power-up for this challenge, along with most wave-clearing Gobblegums. Eliminate all special enemies to complete the challenge. Don't worry, I didn't use a kill streak for the second one. The statue at Blue Portal will spawn 3 Doppelghasts. Upon performing the blood sacrifice, your health will sit at 1 HP, and all damage will go straight to your armor. The best way to tackle these guys is to walk in a big loop, dropping Yule's Arrow charge shots and bullet weapon damage behind you. Make sure to keep your armor up, because as soon as it gets to 0, the next hit downs you. Once all 3 have been eliminated, the 2 statues will link, connecting to the bulls at Pack-a-Punch, and spawning a free golden armor buy. This buy applies to any armor tier you have and is the MWZ golden armor, effectively armor regen for any plate level. Before starting the boss fight, the last things I did here was to buy Death Perception, perform the Ossuary free perk Easter egg by setting all 6 bulls on fire with the Napalm Burst ammo mod, and maxing out my armor plates and decoys at the crafting bench in the Dark Aether Nexus. I would also recommend buying a sentry gun here, I forgot. On to the boss fight. Or not, because I forgot there's a Derunderfizz machine after round 25 to let me buy the elemental pop perk that I really wanted. So here's a cool trick for solo play. If you are in the boss fight and your character is at full health, you can save and quit to escape the boss fight. Upon reloading into the game, you will be dropped off wherever you were at the start of the round, in my case at the Dark Aether Nexus. I bought Elemental Pop, and note that save and quit is no longer available to you. To unlock save and quit again, you must flip the round. If, upon returning, no zombies are spawning, just teleport out to start things up. I got Vulture Aid for a full Perkaholic towards the end of 27, then once my round flipped to 28, save and quit was once again available. Sentinel Artifact, here we come. Welcome to the boss fight. This fight has 3 very distinct stages. Stage 1 is very easy, Stage 2 is very hard, and Stage 3 is very specific. You'll see what I mean. The Sentinel Artifact will transform, emitting a beam of light from the center and slowly rotating. During this, play behind the lower walls and defend yourself from normal zombies using charged ice shots. The Sentinel Artifact will start slow, move up, back down, then back up again. As it rises the second time, head out towards the center. Eventually, the artifact will stop spinning, focusing on a statue. Fire one last charge shot at your feet to defend yourself, then swap to your bullet weapon and pump damage into the artifact. You must break the artifact before the purple ball coming out reaches the statue. Stage 1, round 1 done, with a max ammo as reward. The artifact has now split in 2, but round 2 is more of the same. Artifact goes up, then down, then back up again. Charged shot as it stops, then this time you'll have to break both artifacts for completion. Max ammo reward. Round 3 is, you guessed it, more of the same. Defend yourself, artifacts drift up, then down, then up again. When it locks in, drop the ice, then this time you only have to break one of the 4 artifacts. At this point, Phase 1 is complete. Phase 2 kinda sucks. It has 4 rounds, and each round, one of the 4 artifacts will drift out and summon a zombie, imbuing it with great strength. Phase 2, round 1 is a heavy zombie, however all sorts of enemies will spawn, and some will be imbued with lesser artifacts. The best way to play these rounds is to continually move counterclockwise around the lower map, following the laser beams, firing charged shots behind you, and staying ahead of the horde. When the target zombie dies, as it did in the background here, the Sentinel Artifact will pop out, and if you don't break it in time, it will return to a ground portal to summon another imbued zombie again. Thus, I had to play Phase 2 Round 1 a second time. Once revealed, pump damage into the Sentinel Artifact, causing a wipe on break. A max ammo will drop in the center. Phase 2 Round 2 imbues a Doppelghast. Again, focus on your life and staying ahead of the horde. Use your decoys and Aether Shrouds as you need them. It's sometimes better to prioritize the lesser imbued special enemies, as they will not respawn, and taking them out makes breaking the artifact much easier. Once the Doppelghast is down, break the artifact that was inside. Phase 2 Round 3 imbues a Mimic. Continue kiting, using Tribologist to keep your distance. If you play this like a war of attrition, it becomes much easier. Phase 2 Round 4, the final round, imbues an Amalgam. Due to its grapple attack and high damage, make sure to stay well ahead of this guy. He's not even on my minimap during this. Remember that max ammos drop in the center if you need them. Again, I focused down every other special first, then dealt with the Amalgam once the threat was reduced. On break, that is Phase 2 done. The third and final phase is a pure DPS check. As the ghost artifacts assemble, defend yourself with the Ice Staff, and if you have it, drop a sentry gun down. One artifact will be pushed by the others up to the top of the stairs. Swap to your bullet weapon, and big damage on boss. Do not stop. Once zombies start spawning and hitting you, pop an Aether Shroud charge to stay safe. I only needed 1, however having the extra charge isn't a bad thing. Once the health drops to 0, the Easter egg is done. Interact with the Sentinel Artifact to place the amulet, and that's mission accomplished. Now this boss fight can be and is super difficult. If at any point you go down, as you revive, you will have the opportunity to pause the game. Since you're at full health, you have the option to save and quit. This will take you out of the boss fight and burn your self-revive, but you'll be able to top off your resources and try again. Just remember to flip your round before re-entering the boss fight to re-unlock save and quit. And that's the tomb. If you're still watching, thank you for sticking around. If you're new to the channel, my primary content consists of these Easter egg walkthroughs. Next up will be Voyage of Despair from Black Ops 4. If you liked the video, like the video. If you want to see more Easter egg guides, subscribe down below. And as always, I've been Noodles, You've been awesome. I'll see you next time.